Since Vice President Kamala Harris entered the race for president, polls have shown, like President Biden, she trails former President Donald Trump on the key issues of immigration and the economy. On Wednesday, the vice president laid out her economic vision in Pittsburgh, making a pro-business prosperity pitch. And on Friday, Harris made her first trip to the U.S.-Mexico border as the Democratic nominee, taking a tougher talk than we have heard a Democratic candidate on this issue in a generation. So, can she close the gap with the former president? With us to discuss that and more is Connecticut's Democratic Governor, Ned Lamont. Governor Lamont, thank you for being with us. We appreciate you. Okay, your state's Senator, Chris Murphy, was one of the lead negotiators on a bipartisan border deal that fell apart earlier this year. And it's no surprise that he was involved. The Nutmeg State has thousands of asylum cases in its immigration courts right now. So I'm not doubting the sincerity of Democrats who want to enhance border security. But do Republicans have a point here about the vice president's border visit and new tough talk on the issue appearing to be more about chasing votes than a sincere change on policy?
Hey, Chris. Look, Chris Murphy, as you pointed out, working together with Senator Langford, put together a very strong bipartisan border security bill. And that would have, for the long term, really helped fix the border and secure it. And the House just couldn't get it done. Donald Trump put pressure on House Republicans not to pass it. So she is down there saying, look, right now, through some executive powers and changing the economy, we brought down the amount of immigration, but to do it on a long-term basis, it requires this bipartisan legislation, and politics killed it.
Okay. On the question of the economy and federal budget issues, in your 2018 race for governor, you ran on breaking Connecticut's run of budget deficits. You told a local paper at the time that there's a tendency to want to spend and defer the tough choices we know we have to make. And as governor, you've led your state to a record surplus of more than $4 billion and your state's first bond rating upgrade in 20 years. Well done. But in Pittsburgh, your party's presidential nominee pitched voters on a series of proposals to spend more and lower taxes. Harvard professor and former top Obama economic advisor Jason Furman wrote this in the Wall Street Journal. The deficit is too large and unsustainable. No one is proposing a plan commensurate with the problem. If the economy is getting better, as it seems that it is, why are we contemplating trillions in deficit spending?
Well, first of all, I'd say the budget deficit has been a bipartisan train wreck going back, many years. Bill Clinton was the last president actually to balance a budget. Tim Walz is probably the only candidate out there right now who's actually balanced the budget as a governor. That's what we have to do. But I do think Kamala Harris is a lot more realistic about what we have to do. You're right. She says we're not going to raise taxes on anybody earning less than $400,000. But for those at the very top of the income bracket, they're going to probably have to pay a little more. Donald Trump, on the other hand, says he's given away hundreds of billions of dollars in additional tax cuts on top of what he wants to keep going. He inherited a situation that was beginning to stabilize and turned it into a deep fiscal hole.
Okay, you mentioned Governor Walz, and he is set to debate Senator J.D. Vance in this year's vice presidential debate on Tuesday. From your point of view, fellow governor, what does Governor Walz need to do this week?
Look, I love Tim Walz. I like guys who have actually had a life before politics, unlike, his opponent. I like the fact that he was a coach. I think they like the fact he was a teacher, like what he did in the Guard. I think he's just got to put the human face on the, Harris-Walz policies. A big emphasis upon small business and startups and innovation, as opposed to the big business orientation on the other side. What they're doing for the middle class to raise people up. Give people an opportunity to own their own home and own their own business. I think that he'll tell that story, and he'll tell it well.
Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.